Hi, welcome. In this video, I just want to take a moment to respond to this upcoming canine conference that is being put on by those who identify as balanced dog trainers. And here, pictured here, Jonas Black, who's organizing this conference. So I'm going to play some of this video because I want to make a couple points here. Okay, considering the current state of the dog training world, everything that you're seeing happening, again, I encourage you to watch my Flipping the Script series. I go through all of it, okay, in terms of why it is the dog training world is coming apart at the seams.
I haven't been live on Facebook in a very, very, very long time. And that's why there's this weird filter on that I can't seem to figure out how to turn off. I think maybe if I press the filter thing. There we go. Let's just X the filter. There we go. Perfect. Haven't been on Facebook Live in a long time, and I just wanted to come on. And the reception that we're getting from the Canine Conference is fucking amazing. And there's a really strong reason why I decided to put the effort behind organizing the biggest, baddest, most fucking rad lineup of trainers that I could find and reach out to. We are in a time where the dog training industry is more divided than ever. We are in a time where the dog training industry is so fucked up, and we're in a time where we have people like Zach George trying to cancel.
So stop it here. Because here's the thing. I go through and talk about the real reason, okay, why the dog training world is so messed up. Okay, you go watch my Flipping the Script series by way of those who identify as balanced dog trainers. The fact is they're in a compromised position. They're in a catch-22 situation they can't get out of. I talk about this. Okay, you go through and you step back from all this. You start to ask the questions that these trainers never bothered asking when they jumped into the dog training business. They just took a hold of this ready-made idea and ran with it. And again, you're seeing all these problems. I talk about why everything is escalating, okay, based again on what this ideology represents. Okay, why is force-free trainers, why is it they have the ideological high ground, and why there's no resolution. Okay, you see all these, again, I go through all these, incidents that have happened. Look at Jeff Gellman, the bonker situation. Christopher Upton, which you're going to hear this trainer talk about, that situation that happened. And all the various situations I talk about, I go through, and again, I talk about, why all those triggered off and still totally unresolved, okay, in terms of, why. That's the big question is why. Well, I talk about the why. Okay, I talk about, balanced dog trainers attempting, right, to, reconcile, okay, their idea of things by way of, bringing into this superficial idea of what a process is, influence by way of remote callers. And again, look at another big, the study that triggered off a bunch of more controversy by way of Ivan Belnoff and this balanced dog trainer remote caller study, which isn't being accepted, right? Well, why is that? Think about that. Well, it's not being accepted because it's impossible to reconcile, the balanced dog trainer idea of things. They're attempting to have their cake and eat it too here, and this is where I talk about they play both sides of the ideological fence from the beginning.
People for using aversion and aversives tastefully within the dog training world. And with all that going on, I've decided to honor one of my teachers and one of the coolest trainers you'll ever meet, Christopher Upton. He passed away recently, and I wanted to honor him by putting the effort in, by bringing a huge, huge conference, a huge party together of people.
So bring all these people together. So I talk about, you see all these individuals, balanced dog trainers going on each other's podcasts, but no clarity as to what the real issue is. Because here's the point. You can't talk about that which you're in agreement with. Okay, just think about that. This is why, again, that they stay within their ideological comfort zone. And so I guarantee you, okay, you can bring it, understand these balanced, they can bring as many people together as they want. Doesn't mean that, group support system is going to actually resolve anything. Because I guarantee you one thing you're not going to hear at this conference is any of these trainers actually confronting the real issue. Okay? You're not going to hear it. I'll never be invited to one of these conferences because guess why? Just like I'll never be invited to go on and engage someone like Ivan Belnoff because they don't want to hear it and they can't respond to it, right? And that's the whole point of everything. Well, understand something. I put out information, okay, that these trainers can't accept anyway. Okay, understand the information I put out because they have their identities twisted up in this stuff.
Who are on the same track, and people who I believe in as trainers and who believe in each other as trainers, and people who are good people.
Who are good people, right? Who are good people. I mean, I talk about this. I mean, again, you label people whatever you want. People can say whatever they want on social media. And this is the hypocrisy of all of this, is that you get these trainers on their virtue signaling, trying to pass themselves off as good people. Meanwhile, the very idea that they're, marketing, that they're aligned with, is totally corrupt. And it's the reason why dogs are ending up, and owners are ending up in the position they're ending up by way, again, of ending up with unresolved behavioral issues, blame shifting on the dogs. I go through all of it. So understand something here. I mean, these trainers, and they're talking about, well, the dog training world is the way it's getting worse and worse and worse. But guess what? They aren't listening, right? They aren't confronting. They aren't listening to what the real issue is. I've said this. I said this is going right to the wall. This is going to get much worse based on the fact of, of these trainers. They've basically been turned over to this stuff. They really have. I mean, balanced dog trainers, in many ways, are in worse shape, okay, because they've played both sides of the fence here. So again, my encouragement is you check the information I put. It's very specific. It's not fun information, okay, if you're come into agreement with this idea of things, because it forces people into a trade-off situation. A trade-off a lot of these trainers are never going to make. Okay, understand? That's why I say it's going right to the wall, because they played the system. This is a rigged game. I talk about what training is, what it is. Training is not a learning-based exercise once a relationship with problems underway. I talk about the reasons why it isn't. I talk about, based on how these trainers are, motivating dogs to respond, how that sets up a counterfeit picture within the framework of response for so many dogs and owners. I talk about that. I talk about the role of influence, how it is not reconciled, does not come in the right way through this idea of things. It can't. It's impossible. And so this is why you get all these bad outcomes. And so again, then look at all the deceptive nature of what's going on here. Look at the issue. All these trainers are focused in a very superficial way at response, and they're assuming these responses represent perception of dogs are changing. Totally inherently flawed based on the application of this idea. So again, I will say that these trainers are put on as many conferences as they want. This is a system of training that is inherently flawed. This approach, and the whole thing is coming apart. Okay, understand that. It's like these trainers have found comfort in a lie, and they've bought into it, and so there's no stopping it. So people can, again, not like what I'm saying. I get lots of comments where people aren't happy with the fact I'm talking about the real issue. I don't care about any of that. If you really cared about dogs the right way from the beginning, you would have, as individuals, challenge, what's happening. Look around the dog training world. Do you think any of this is some sort of accident? So all again, people can, continue to push this forward. There's a reason why these trainers can talk about the real issue. They'll go to this conference, have some drinks, eat some great steak. You'll absolutely not hear a whisper as to what the real issue is, because they can't even talk about it. Thanks for watching.